everybody, I'm Krystian from Trace5.
And I am Kelf from Trace5 as well.
And we are back with our old shenanigans. We are back, Kelf here, with a new setup here. You see our beautiful both faces. And there's a weird logo there. Have you seen that weird logo?
What weird
There's
logo?
a Project NISEI logo.
Oh, the Project NISEI. Wait, this way. No, this way. Okay.
It's difficult. I've been practicing. Yeah, so we've been approached by Project NISEI, by beautiful people from Project NISEI, and they asked us, hey, we've been working on some scoops.
Is that really how they asked us? Like,
they called it the Scoops Week. So and they like, do you want some scoops? And we said like, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
You never say no to something like that.
And so we never, like, Fantasy Flight never did anything like this. So off the bat, I'm already very, I'm honored. And
thank you, NISEI people.
Thank you so much, guys.
So much for this. Yeah.
So we have brought with you some three beautiful presents from the beautiful team at Project NISEI, and we're gonna unwrap this present with you, and we're gonna like explore our emotions, and we're gonna share with you our first impressions. First of all,
explore our emotions.
Our emotions. That's true. Emotions are important. This is a very emotional.
You're romanticizing this Scoops episode so much.
This is a very emotional thing. Full disclosure, I haven't been playing Netrunner for a couple of months now. Like, I haven't touched Netrunner card. Wait, I played like twice against Greg at one evening, and then none of this happened again. So I brought like cards, and I'm playing the cards, and then Greg says like, wait a minute, do you know that this cycled out? I'm like, oh, awkward. Yeah. Well, I win anyway, I guess.
I'm still a little bit confused about that. Like, I see cards, I'm like, oh yeah, that one is like cycled out. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. So Kelf is way more experienced than this.
Well, I mean, I haven't been playing as much as I used to, but I did actually play a tournament yesterday and won it as well. But I just find it so much fun to still be playing. Because at first I thought it wouldn't be as exciting, and as I explained on stream as well during the NISEI tournaments, for anybody who didn't catch those, which were really fun, by the way. If you get a chance to play at a NISEI tournament online, please do. You're really going to enjoy it. The Project NISEI people are doing a great job at actually organizing those and making it fun for everybody, making it inclusive for people wherever they are in the world. And anyway, as I said, like the new set actually brought something fresh, like the new rotation kind of thing that Project NISEI did. And bringing back some old IDs, some old cards and all that actually made it a little bit more fresh in preparation for the new set that is coming out. And the cards that we're just about to see now as well actually really, really tie in perfectly to what we should be expecting from Project NISEI. Something really cool and new to play around with. Something that we've also always loved in Netrunner, right? Deck building was like always the core of it.
Yeah. I've been watching some of the scoops that Project NISEI themselves already released. They made me really excited about.
I love the runner cards, like the runner cards. You know, the one I loved Andromeda. The art was amazing. First of all,
and there's
like,
obviously. Although Andromeda is the one that I would. It's a good card, but it's the one where I least recognized the original runner. Like,
really?
I think Kate was very clear. Like this is her ability.
I think the whole point was because Andromeda was on the lamb, so she dropped her wig. If you remember.
No, not like visually. And visually it's fine. Like I mean, gameplay wise, I know that's like having 9 cards, but it's like I don't know. It's like it's a great card. I would definitely play it in every criminal deck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Really good card draw and everything.
I feel like it's a good Mr. Lee. You know, like it's just interesting. It's way more interesting design.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so just like a couple of core data. We don't want to spend, like, probably somebody's already typing furiously. Oh, the first card reveal starts at 5 minutes in, guys. But just like to give you some core data. So on the March the 18th, it should be the release of this set. Is that correct? Yeah. And apparently there's going to be like 2 sets. And the cycle is called the Ashes cycle, and it consists of 2 sets. It's going to be Downfall and Uprising.
It's a good thing that you're explaining that, because I want to be able to pronounce that.
Oh, Ashes, yeah. I'm going to be responsible for the pronunciation of Ashes. It's fine.
The access cycle.
Almost there. Okay, and there's going to be like 60 to 65 cards in each cycle. And
I remember correctly, yeah, around
or
60.
each set, I guess. And then they're planning 4 sets a year. So I guess 2 cycles per year. I'm a bit
That is
confused
pretty
about
cool, actually. I mean, that is way more than I expected to be seeing from a fun run project, you know.
In fact, I'm kind of like shocked what a high of a pace they're setting.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would have
definitely.
expected them to aim lower. So going for something that hardcore is pretty crazy. It's still not quite clear how are we going to get the cards. Generally, they said proxies are completely allowed on all of the tournaments, so you can just print them at home and like just cut them out. And
They said, I believe, in one of the articles that it will be like you can also order them. They will be print on demand, or you can download them and actually print them yourself.
Yeah.
We already got I'm pretty sure that most communities will do what we're doing here as well in Greece, where one of the guys is already saying, well, I'm gonna order the print on demand ones.
And who wants
So
to
let's
join?
exactly. Let's make a list of all the people that are interested in actually being in that.
Yeah.
And I mean that's pretty cool. I'm already in that list, so.
Kelf, I think people are just exploding with excitement. Let's get to the first.
Give us the cards.
The first scoop reveal. Are you ready?
Da-da.
Ta-da!
Oh man, it's actually so cool to be showing. Like the first of the cards is actually one with Caddy Jones.
I love it so much. So this is.
I saw it so many times yesterday, Caddy Jones, and everybody was saying the same thing. Every time they installed the resource, they were like, "Oh, I miss Caddy Jones. He's so good. I forgot why he's so good."
Best character. So just to summarize for people who are maybe cannot read what's happening here, always have a backup plan is the name of this card. It is a run event of the criminals. It is a 2-credit run event, and it says run any server. When that run ends, if it was unsuccessful, you may run that server again, ignoring any additional costs to run. During the second run, when you encounter the last ice you encountered in the first run, bypass it. And there's going to be a flavor text here. Everyone told me she was reliable in a pinch by AZ McCaffrey. And then there's going to be like a 3 influence card from the criminals.
So I already like the influence, first of all.
3 influence.
This seems like
right?
a good card, and it could have replaced Inside Job in various ways or spear fishing. So 3 influence is already good enough, and 2 cost.
That's what I thought as well. It's like a very obvious, okay, we are, it gives us yet another tool as criminals to get into servers, to bypass things. It seems to me, it's kind of like, have you tried this card yet? Have you played this in your testing?
No. But the thing is, like, I really like the idea of it. Like, it's so criminal, you know?
Yeah,
it reminds me of the time that I used to play Silhouette, and sometimes I was just running to servers, and I was like, doesn't matter what's going to happen, as long as I get in there, you know? So... just run again and just bypass the last ice. Like, I don't care what's gonna happen until I get to the last ice to like bypass it. Like, sounds so good. It's so criminal.
It's also something I like. There's a bit of a I don't care about any attitude here, where it's like or like, you know, like Hail Mary run attitude, where it's like you might run into an ice that is really dangerous, like something like I don't know, like, you know, the old ice.
I don't know.
Yeah, Komaino doesn't stop you, but generally like something that's end the run, but also nasty stuff, and you let that nasty stuff happen to you, and then, you know, you run again, but this time you bypass the ice. You know, you just let the bad stuff wash over you, just so you can get over it.
What you could do is actually imagine this: you'd use this wild, you see what the last piece of ice is, you run through everything, like you see what the rest is, and then you can jack out. And then run again, because it doesn't say that you actually need to, like, you're forced to go all the way through.
Yeah, you can jack out. Yeah,
you can jack out whenever you want.
Jack out to run in again. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Yeah. There's with Deuce's Wild. It wouldn't work though, because Deuce's Wild is kind of like a run in itself. It doesn't.
No, I mean, like, you know, you at least expose it and then run somewhere else or something. Then you do this.
Yeah.
Like, imagine against RP, you can actually do Deuce's Wild with your third click, run on the server like in a central. Check out and then actually do this on the remote, and they're like, what?
I think this is a really good card design. I think this is something that I think a lot of us are maybe not sure about. A lot of the cards that Project NISEI is bringing out, like, not really sure how to use it. And I really love this design, because it's like, for like a lot of us, we can just take existing criminal decks and remove the inside job and put this in just to see how it feels, just to get a feel for this.
It's nice that it fits in with everything else, but it also brings something new. Like, It gives you a solution. As a criminal, I remember like big problem was always like, well, now it is Biodome, but Nisei Mark II or like Caprice Nisei in the past. So when you get that end run, you can still go again. So you know that you don't have to have that extra click. And the fact that it says, like, it's very important that it says ignoring any additional costs to run is actually really interesting as well. I don't know what the additional costs would be, but imagine, like, you know, an upgrade or something that doesn't allow you, like,
sure, of course. There might be less. You have to pay a credit to run on the server or something like this.
Yeah, something like that. But
I think there is something
really
like this already out.
It's still really, really good. And the bypass effect, I think, is just like, you know, it's the main thing, but the rest, the added effect, like of the rest, like ignoring any additional costs could be like really important in the future.
Just like some additional thinking about the effect. So I have to say, like, the wording of the card is more complicated than I would expect from Fantasy Flight. There is some shenanigans happening here. It's clearly this card has been seen by many eyes.
Yeah. And no, but it's clear though. Yeah, it's very complicated but clear.
Yeah. It's just like I think it seems like Project NISEI is willing to go one step further than maybe Fantasy Flight was willing to go. So I really like this. And another thing is, so you have to think this through a little bit. So the thing I really love about Inside Job is like this kind of like mind game situation where it's like I'm gonna Inside Job. And it's like I have two eyes on the server, and one is maybe rest, the back eyes is rest, and the front is not rest. So do I rest the front eyes? So you have to encounter the second eyes, but then you skip the front eyes and just rest. So I pay money and it's nothing, you know. So this kind of mind game, it comes up again here a little bit, but in like a twisted fashion, where it's like you have two eyes. It's like the second eye is rest, and you do this, and so it's like, wait, so if I don't rest the front eyes, then you might end the run on the second ice and run again, but then I can rest the front ice to kind of like to. It's
kind of like spearfishing, but it's just better. It
seems
better.
More flexible, but it also I feel that there's more potential for the corporation to screw you over here a little bit. I feel.
No, definitely. Like I can see a lot of Jinteki decks as being like, run again.
Speaking of Jinteki, by the way, Nisei tokens. Nisei tokens are really good. It's good against Nisei tokens because Enderon.
That's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was saying earlier. Like Biodome, Nisei Mark II, Caprice Nisei in the past, all of these were actually huge problems for criminals because their criminals were just like all about one run event, go in, make it all count. And if they just make it end the run, then you're like, oh well, you know, I guess I'll die.
Really good. Let us finally talk a little bit about the stuff that is not gameplay related. So we see. So one thing I really appreciate, little detail. They made the logos of the different factions different. Obviously, they have to because the logos of the original factions are copyrighted by Fantasy Flight Games. And I really like the design of the new criminal logo. Because the Fantasy Flight one sucked, and this one is still kind of like referencing the original design, but I think it's like really nice, modernized, very clean, and not like I could imagine having this on my T-shirt. I cannot imagine having the Fantasy Flight one on.
It's weird that I'm looking like this way, like my other screen is this way. You're like, no.
It's very confusing. Don't worry. Just run with it. It's going to be fine. So we already saw a little bit like the cleaner card design. Something I really appreciate. They made everything less chaotic, less cluttered. Everything is like nice and clean, and the art goes all the way to the borders. That's something I really appreciate. It looks very modernized and very relaxed.
It looks. I think like I could just all I could say is just like it's very neatly made. Just everything just clear. Like reminds you of the old design, like enough to actually feel like it's Netrunner still. Like
the different factions have different applications on the side. So kind of
exactly. It's really nice.
Something I do have criticism with, and I saw this criticism also in comments on the internet. I've been to the internet. I read the comments. And, people told me I shouldn't do it, but I did it. There's the credit logo in the corner. I feel it's still a bit flat. I think this could use a bit of polish. Like,
wait, what do you mean?
It's a graphic design kind of thing. It looks kind of like this matte finish. It looks like the other one was like this glossy. I don't know.
You mean the call from the top left?
The number 2.
Oh, okay.
Also, funny thing, like there's the logos are all different. So there's no credit logo there. That's at first we're like, why didn't you use the credit logo? And it's like, oh no, all of the logos are copyrighted. It's also.
I don't know. Like I can see what you're talking about, but I'm quite okay with it. Like it's fine. It still looks like something new, something that is fan made still. So I guess
Yeah.
that element still being in there is actually nice.
Let's wait until the cards are printed,
That is
because
true.
a lot of the stuff looks very different on a screen than it looks when it's printed. I really appreciate. We already talked about Katie Jones, iconic character. We love her. I love that they bring her back without actually explaining Katie Jones. It's like all these
I'm
references.
so glad she's back. So glad.
Ooh.
It seems like a really important tool for the runner suit, and just one of the most iconic, as you said yourself, and also most useful neutral cards we had in the game. So it was just sad not seeing her in the game anymore.
Beautiful art by Oli Bolador.
Bulbador.
Boldador.
So Oli also did the art for a lot of the stuff that we did in the Netherlands as well. He did the Invitationals mats for 2014 and 15. The Mongoose Desperado.
Right. I remember.
Yeah, he's the one that did it.
Yeah.
He did our tulip snares.
Wow.
He did a couple other things as well.
That's a very. I mean, you can clearly tell that he invests a lot of effort into this artwork. This is a lot of details, a lot of polish. I love it. 2 characters, very very detailed. Environmental background.
I love how Az looks in the back. Is it AZ or Az?
Who's Az?
He's Kate's son. Am I right?
I thought so too. I mean,
You didn't know that?
McCaffrey sounds, but like that would have been my next question. Who is Az? So he is Kate's son, right?
No, yeah, Kate. I think it's Kate's son. If I remember correctly from the article they pulled up.
I missed that article. So oh my gosh,
Oh,
just blew my
man.
mind right there
Oh,
on the
man.
screen. Oh my gosh, with whom then? Well,
I don't know if that was in the article. I don't remember that.
Well,
I've read a lot of things since then.
It's the future. Things are.
I have too much
very fluid.
information flowing in to remember that.
All right, so this is also interesting to note. This is card number 11 from that thing. So that's kind of.
So wait. Important question.
Yeah.
Did the criminal cards come first in sets?
No.
No,
It depends. The Anarch's cards were, I think, the first number.
I think
right?
other cards were first.
Yeah.
So that's like the first criminal card.
You
And
think
it's
so?
an event, so it comes first. I don't know.
That
Yes.
could be it. Yeah, you're right.
Taking wild guesses here.
Oh, dang. Shall we move on to the next spoiler?
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, scoop.
Oh man.
Backland Botchkin.
I also love the art in this.
A very hairy man, or at least it looks hairy. I like it. As a man who is hairy himself.
I think the art style fits like what they wanted for the art as well.
Let's read the card first before we
Yes.
dive into it. So it's a 2-credit resource connection. It's a Backland Botchkin. He's a unique. And his ability is the first time each run you encounter a piece of ice, place 1 power counter on this resource. And then there's like a trash icon, and it says de-res the ice you are encountering if its strength is equal to or less than the number of hosted power counters, take 1 tag. And then there's like a text here, psht, let them gossip. The cat knows whose meat it has eaten. Backland Botchkin. 3 influence. Criminal.
Okay. I don't know. First thing that I would say is like I think it should have been 4 influence. Honestly.
Generally, I'm especially these days, like in the late stage of Netrunner.
These days in Netrunner.
I cannot really talk about these days. Late stage Netrunner for me is like something like runner meta is dominated by Anarchs who have influenced like every So bringing out any card is in danger of like just Anarchs just snatching it for themselves and using it way better than original faction can use it. So
de-resing anything that has like 5 or 6 strength, even at 5 or 6 strength, that's like a lot of mana denial. That's like a lot. So I don't know, like it feels really powerful. I feel that it should either have a higher credit cost or a higher influence cost. But the people at Project NISEI probably tested this like way more than what I'm guessing right now. So
wait, so can you pull off this trick by was it Dean Lister? No, not Dean Lister, the other guy, Maxwell James, where it's like you de-res the ice while you're encountering it, so then there's no longer a window to
No.
de-res it.
Maxwell James was a rathead, and you have to run an HQ and do it immediately. Also, Maxwell
Yeah, but
James
that's
was
because he had like the other requirement that you have to run on HQ first.
Yeah, but
this time
Maxwell
doesn't
James
have
was
that.
in Terminal Directive. He's not legal anymore.
No, I'm just asking if you can pull off the same trick where you can like encounter an ice and then the corporation had a window to res it. Now you de-res the ice and now it cannot be re-resed by the corporation. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I understand, but
It's that thing, right?
you're encountering it. Yeah, they can't raise it again because you're
Yeah.
encountering it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different now.
We broke the game!
Well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's kind of like this thing, but you kind of have to charge him up before that. You have to use those power counters, so he's not as kind of like a quick solution as Maxwell James was. So I think that's okay, and also you get the tag for that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, one tag, I'm not sure how cool that is because, Lisa can just ignore that. She doesn't care about tags anyway.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if Elisa wouldn't play it, this connection.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would play it. Maybe she would.
Why wouldn't she? Because you can de-res something really fast.
Yeah, but it's like you have to get the counters on it. So if she does something like a low strength kind of ice, something like vanilla, then that doesn't really hurt anybody.
That's cool, exactly. But at the same time, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't do anything. But at the same time, you could just install it for 2, and worst case scenario, they just trust it for 2, and you don't really care. Right? You already play that like rogue trading
that's
cards
true.
for money, so.
I like him. I like him because again, it's one of the design that's very close to something like Data Sucker, which is like a different way of dealing with ice, and it's something that always was a bit difficult with.
And it's also more criminal because it's just the res; it's not burn the ice.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. I'm glad that the res is actually back on the table in a very interesting way.
Also, kind of like bringing back abilities like Crescentus, which were very popular with the criminals, but then rotated out. So again, bringing another character that kind of like is able to do that, but also not like Crescentus, where it's like a hardware. I think it was a hardware, was it? There's some kind of like people driving loud bikes next to you. Is that true?
Yeah, that was loud. That was a loud bike. Yeah. I'm actually live in a very quiet neighborhood, so I was surprised. What was the hardware? Oh, the
Crescentus. Was it Crescentus?
Crescentus, and then the de-resing thing. Oh my God, what was it called? Oh, we're terrible at this game. Oh man.
De-resing hardware?
Yeah. There was one. The one that you paid the cost.
Crescentus was not a hardware. That was a program.
No, it was a program, but you paid the cost of the res.
Oh, you mean the the? I know what you mean. The one. Everybody knows now what we're talking about, right?
Oh my God.
6.5 hours later.
Rubicon Switch, there it is.
Oh my God.
I remembered something with a switch, but I couldn't remember the
That felt good, like removing like a stone that was in your foot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Rubicon Switch. That's right. But Rubicon Switch is something that comes that doesn't get trashed. This is like a one-time use kind of thing. Quick thing is, what about Hostage? Is that still in?
Yes. I actually saw Hostage a lot yesterday at the tournament.
Good.
And it was being played by Sapers as well a lot to bring Caddy Jones professional contacts. It actually makes professional contacts really cool again, because you have 5 of them in deck or something.
And you just slot in some Backland Botchkin in there, and he joins the cast, of characters.
Exactly. No, it's really cool. So you have John Masanori again, so you can actually play Hostage for a Backland Botchkin, for a John Masanori, for Caddy Jones, for Andromeda, for all these things. You can just it's actually Hostage is a very important card right now, and being criminal and having all these cool neutral connections back in the game is actually really, 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 really nice. I said really way too many times.
So the illustrations by Janet Brüsselbach. Do you know her?
No.
Never heard about that again myself, but I really like him. It's
I really like the art style.
Yeah,
I think it fits perfectly for the guy pictured in it.
Yeah, that it definitely looks like a Backland Botchkin for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I would definitely.
I don't know why, but the name fits
him.
perfectly.
But something I also wanted to mention. I really like how Nisei is starting to introduce their own characters. Because they cannot use any of the characters that were there previously, cannot rely on any of the characters that were in the story previous, because they're still part of Fantasy Flight, so they kind of have to create a new roster of characters, and that's a cool character. I want to hear more about this guy.
Yeah, no, it's really cool that they're already creating a world around the new cycle.
Yeah, good.
And I love that it's actually, obviously, I love the fact, and I bet you do too, that it is actually a continuation of what we were used to,
Yeah.
Like how we saw the retired runners, how we saw, Kate's son and all that. It's just cool to have like a continuation to all of it.
It's like, Netrunner the next generation, basically.
Yeah, basically. Oh my god, it sounds like we're in the next generation of Pokemon. These are our new Pokemon, Krystian. Do you realize that?
This is weird. This is very weird.
This is an allegory that I really wanted to make.
I don't know if that's a. All right, I think we're gonna have to cover this up with a new scoop. Are you ready for the final scoop?
Yes, let's go.
3, 2, 1, scoop.
All right, this is very, very cool.
It's
this is also very anarchy. Very criminal card, sorry.
One credit hardware. It's called Flip Switch. It is a one influence criminal hardware, and it says you cannot use this hardware during the corpse turn. And it has 2 trash abilities. One is trash jack out, and the other one is trash remove 1 tag. And it then it says whenever a trace initiates on your turn, you may trash to reduce the base strength to 0. And then we have some flavor text. BMI switches let a runner's surface without true disconnects. Handy if you need a break immediately.
I really like it. And I like the fact that it says you cannot use this hardware during the corpse turn. Like for the remove 1 tag or like reduce the base.
Yeah, so it doesn't protect you against a C-source or something.
Yeah, or like a hard hitting or something.
That's good.
So it's a very interesting card to I don't know, it's a jack of all trades in a way.
Yeah.
Like you use it for things to be safer, to be not just safe, to be just safer in some cases. And the fact that it's one influence actually makes it very playable in other factions too.
Yeah, what influences the thing I'm because we said okay, that makes it very viable for shapers and for anarchs, and probably will be seen, we will see a lot of play of this. We might see a lot of play of this. Generally, the abilities doesn't seem like they rock your world, but if there's any indication, whenever you have a card that has multiple abilities that are useful and that is also cheap to play, something like Duke's Wild is a good example for that. It's not really like a card that has crazy abilities, but all of these are very useful in different contexts.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like a similar situation where it's you can use this in many different ways, and it can help you always.
Think about it. It's just I think it's a very criminal card because you had Fairy, right?
Yeah.
You still have Fairy, and the thing that Fairy does is actually keep you safe when you run.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
The jack out effect, as soon as you encounter an ice, be able to
jack out on the first ice.
Yeah, to steal jack out as soon as it gets rest.
Yeah.
That's actually huge. That's like having a Fairy, but even better, because you might not have to use it, and when you get a tag, you can just remove it by having spent 1 credit.
Yeah, and also the reduced strength down to 0 is also a strong. I don't know if all these kind of annoying eyes that with the highest trace, something like a Data Raven or something. It's
or if you want to get an easy access somewhere, you can bypass something or whatever, or you need to get in somewhere,
or Ash.
Yeah, or I was gonna say the math for Ash just immediately just changes,
Oh, well done.
Hey,
sir. Well
you
done.
you tried to get me.
Yeah.
No, but it seems like it's not huge, but having it down from the start, as we just said, having the safety of running and being able to jack out if you see something really bad, doesn't allow the corp to surprise you with bad eyes. So let's say Surveyor. Wait, Surveyor was in Terminal.
Yeah, that's right. Surveyor, that was the one I was thinking about, right? Is it recycled out or not?
No, I don't think it is. But it's still restricted, so it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's any type of this kind of ice, where it's you encounter a huge trace, and it's you will overpay for it, and you just want it out.
There is a toll booth. You don't even have to pay the 3 costs.
Yeah, that's right.
You just jack out, and they just spend 8 credits to res a toll booth, and you can just run
because you're still in
else.
approach phase when I res it, so then you can jack out before you encounter, right?
Or always have a backup plan with flip switch. There is a
That's what I'm talking about. The synergy.
You run again. You bypass it. Like what?
And also, Botchkin is there, and you get a token on him because you encountered it twice.
Exactly. You encountered it twice, and then they're just like the corp player is just like, I hate the new cards.
Screw you, Nisei!
No, Nisei!
I'm gonna play some Keyforge now.
We just made a scenario where we used all 3 of the scooped cards. This is perfect.
I told you. It's good. So the art is by Krembler. Do you know Krembler?
I know Krembler. I don't know them personally, but I've seen a lot of their cards. Like, I don't remember if it's a guy or a girl, but I've seen a lot of Krembler cards before. And I think they were scooped on, not scooped.
I think I saw.
They were shown in a lot of articles.
Wasn't the NBN card by Krembler?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember exactly now, but we've seen some fun arts.
I have to say, it's not the kind of illustration that I expected from Flipswitch. We saw the text of the card before we got the illustrations, and we were waiting for Flipswitch. It's not the card I thought it would be. I thought
it's cool.
It looks more like some kind of like slot machine or something.
Yeah, I like it. You know what? I feel like we need more cards like in the old style of Netrunner.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely looks very.
Not all of them have to be like that, but I like it that some of them are more playful or more like old school cyberpunky kind of like style. It's more real. It's more close to the real world kind of thing. So
but also, I would kind of expect this kind of hardware to be something maybe by the shapers. So it might have been a shaper illustration than a criminal illustration.
Yeah.
Although criminals, it's a new world. Whatever, criminals are now they do whatever they want now. I mean,
maybe
if Botchkin is there,
I don't know. Like maybe they're the new powerful faction or whatever. We'll see something really cool happening with them.
I definitely appreciate that there's like a cheese it option on this device. Like that's definitely me. That I feel seen.
No, it's really cool art. I feel like we really do need more playful and more colorful cards out there as well.
That's good. Yeah, definitely. I agree. By the way,
from what we've seen from the 3 cards thus far, they've touched on everything. Like we just saw 3 cards, and I feel like I already feel like very satisfied with what I've seen from NISEI. So.
I'm shocked by the quality level. I thought we would get something like like with a Sharpie is like
That is so true. When I saw the runner cards, I was like, wow, are these for real?
Yeah.
Damn, these are good. These look really nice.
My initial thought was, damn, Nisei, don't burn yourself out on those on these scoops.
This all better be good now, okay? Don't drop this level.
You're setting the bar so high. Oh my god.
Like they're just showing us the most beautiful of cards, and they just just like release a bunch of cards that have like the energy symbol from the Pokemon TCG or something like. It's very basic,
Yeah. I was maybe they just prepared like the beautiful cards for the scoops, and the rest is gonna be just like.
Here's some beautiful things we prepared.
if this is any indication, I'm like, okay, never mind. As I posted it on our Twitter channel, Nisei is my master now. It's like who is even FFG? I don't even care. What is even FFG?
It's really good. It's really good. I like what they've done. I like what they've done with the cards thus far. Yeah. What we've seen is actually, making you feel like, hey, Netrunner is more alive than ever, and there's still interesting stuff coming out.
Yeah.
And the people that actually played it and had, some kind of like design ingenuity and actually tasted it are actually bringing interesting stuff out for it. So I'm still in this, I still want to try out stuff.
Oh, definitely. That makes me really excited, and I definitely want to get the new set and just try it. Just try the new Netrunner cards created by the community. Some really good designs. We already talked about... Yes?
On top of that, just to give them another shout out, they have been doing freaking goddamn excellent work with the organized play thus far. So honestly, there's even if you didn't have a good reason to try out the new cards, there is plenty of reasons with the stuff that they're bringing out. They just showcased the regionals kit, and I was like, wow, this is actually. I'm more excited about this than any of the regional stuff that I saw from FFG. They have the frosted IDs. They got a bounce of participation prize for top 64 and 32. They got the beautiful playmat with Kate McCaffrey on it, painted Kamainu. I was like, man, This is great. I guess I can still play Netrunner, you know.
I guess. Why was it so hard, FFG? What's wrong with you guys?
God damn it! Fix your shit.
Step it up, man. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Same here. I'm really excited to see what happens here. And it's really good to have like this, you know, to see like, because, you know, you can talk about a lot about, you know, oh, Netrunner is not dead, you know, oh, we're going to carry over the torch.
Yeah.
But like just words are kind of like, you might not like believe them as much if you don't see like it's manifested in specifics. And so seeing these kind of card designs, seeing how they like touch on the existing lore that we have in Netrunner, but also carry it forward, actually trying to like, you know, mechanically, you know, I wish those kind of cards were kind of like in Criminals for such a long time, right? Just like good, basic, like, yes, this is good stuff. This is like the meat and potatoes, you know? Like, this is something I want to maybe have in every deck, you know? This is something that pushes me up. And so I'm really glad that this is where they're going.
They're interesting in their own way. They're not like the card that you would put everywhere and you would put 3 of. And that is very, very important. Like, every time I made a deck, I was like, I want to play this card and this card. I want to have this answer and this answer. And not because it's a silver bullet, but because it makes my deck interesting.
Yeah, but But also not like something super fancy, crazy, where it's like, oh, there's like, you know, 1 in a million chance where this will ever fire, which is usually what criminal cards were in the past.
What we got instead was like freaking Temujin Contract, or like, I don't remember any other criminal card that was like, you know, I'll play 1 off or something. There was Spear Fishing. There was a Nias Informant at some point that people play 3 off as a kind of like a deck strategy for money.
I
but
mean,
you know, there weren't cards like this. Like, these cards actually make a bit more sense. You're not going to put 3 off, always have a backup plan, but you will put 1, you know, or you put 2 or something. It's actually interesting.
By the way, Flip Switch and Botchkin, just like to go back a little bit to the... How is my good old pal Geist doing?
Geist.
How is my how is he doing, Geist?
I haven't seen Geist in a while, so I can't really say.
Don't tell me he's rotated out.
Last time I saw him was at the Nationals of 2018.
I don't think Tech Trader rotated out or something, or is that something?
I don't remember.
I really think one of the because these would be really good Geist cards, you know.
Yeah, they would be. Well, I mean, Flip Switch is good, yeah. Flip Switch is actually quite great because you actually have the potential to tech servers and also be safe. And also get money and cards for it, so I guess that's great.
This is really good, and also Botchkin as well, because you don't need any breakers.
Yeah, because you encounter it and you check out. Yeah, so that's Damn.
Good. Okay, so these are our scoops, and of course, as always, if you have your own opinions or your own observations, your own like synergy observation, or maybe critique to watch the stuff that we said, you can always post them down in the comment section. There's going to be hopefully some discussion about this. Excuse me.
Krystian actually reads the comment section.
I do read the comments, sadly. against all recommendations. So these are the scoops for Trace 5 for the upcoming set by Project NISEI. Again, March 18th is the street date of those, so be on the lookout for those, and let those beautiful people from support Project NISEI on Patreon as well. Like, these are people who are really investing a lot of effort into this, and clearly it shows. It definitely shows.
Make sure you check out nisei.net, because there's everything you need to know about organized play, other scoops, bunch of other announcements that they make. It's actually the place to be if you want to be updated on what's going on with the project. And they do that very often, so you know you're always going to have news on your, just take it.
Yeah. All right, so we are going to move over, and we're going to be return hopefully soon with maybe some more Netrunner content when new stuff comes out. Kelf is maybe streaming, maybe together streaming.
I mean, we've already been back a little bit, you know, been like hinting it a little bit with the streams that we've been doing for the NISEI tournaments. We've been really enjoying those. We've had amazing feedback from the NISEI members as well, and we hope to continue doing that. And we also hope to continue doing the streams as well. So yeah, you can look forward to that. And especially with the new cards, there's definitely going to be a lot of new shenanigans to do and try out. Like definitely.
I mean, you know what we are going to do now, Kelf?
Are we actually going to say the thing again?
We're
finally going to say the thing again.
Hide the planet! Shut up and get in the car!
Oh, it feels good.
Shit on me.